Thank you so much for being with us today, Geoff. How did you get into acting and how old were you at the time?
I was at university, so I was probably about, let's say 21. I was doing a history degree, and I joined the Drama Society. And it was, and I think both my parents were involved in amateur dramatics. And my mum I knew, and she would, we used to embarrass all the kids. But then I think, I decided to audition for the Drama Society when I saw in a scrapbook that my dad had won Best Actor in the Country Drama Awards. And I don't know, and I've thought about it for many years and thought, I reckon that was one of the, it's all parental. I think, people talk about, especially with actors, that, every actor has the kind of wound which forces them to sort of just, I don't know, it's... Anyway, I won't get too deeply into that, but yeah. So at uni, when I had a teacher's scholarship, so I was meant to be a teacher, and that was it. And at the end of that, it was in the days of Gough Whitlam when they had regional theatre companies, and I got a job with a regional theatre company, and that was my training. I didn't train to be an actor.
Given your extensive film career for more than 40 years, what is your favourite film that you've been involved in so far?
Favourite film? Look, it wasn't a film, but I did Cloud Street for Fox, made by a great filmmaker, Australian filmmaker Matt Saville, and that's high up there. Films, I'd probably go for The Mule or 10 Empty, which was Tony Hayes' first film, and he fought desperately to get me in because they wanted Geoffrey Rush or Anthony LaPaglia, someone with a bit of Hollywood on them. And he fought hard for me, and so I'd probably put that one in there, I think, yeah, 10 Empty.
So Vision's Splendid Film Festival is known for its historic open-air cinema. Can you tell us what it's like to watch your work screened in very similar rugged environments to where much of Australia's film history is made?
Just very exciting. It was such a buzz. We have seen the film before on a larger screen, much smaller audience on the Gold Coast, but to come out here, and it's amazing. Film culture is really under attack, has been for many years here. In nearest big city to me, Sydney, they've just closed the Chevelle, which was an absolute institution. What was the question again? Oh yes.
What's it like to watch your work screened in very similar rugged environments?
Yeah. Oh look, fantastic. And because also the people who were watching it were from these rugged environments, and I think they really appreciated it and found interest in all the different bushy kind of characters that were in the film. Yeah, it's absolute thrill, I've got to say.
Given your heavy involvement in Outback screen films, how do regional and marginalised communities continue to play an important role in Australian films?
How do they? Well, I'm going to get a little bit political. I think with a change in policy of Screen Australia, I believe it's all aimed at providing employment for cast and crew for the American films that come out here. They get a 35% rebate from us, our taxpayers' money. So I personally think the regional and outback areas play a vital role. You look at all the key films in our history. There's the outback plays a major part and I think is now less used. And I think with the change of government policy, Screen Queensland, here's a shout out. I think a little bit of funding towards regional festivals, for example, or four-walling films, which we plan to do with our film. When four-walling is a way where you travel around with the film, you hire the cinema, and it goes back to the days of the Great Morning of the Earth surf films, and they did that a long time ago. A fun fact that David Elphick, who produced all that, he told me when he did it, they charged $5, and all the surfies had $5 in their back pocket, and the $5 notes were all wet. So he'd be in the hotel room afterwards, and they'd peg him up, on these things, and he'd wake up covered in $5 bills, thinking he'd made it. But that sort of grassroots kind of thing really appeals to me.
Are you able to tell us a little bit about your collaboration with your close friend David Field?
Oh yeah, it's been going on for a long time. We're creative partners. We write together. We've got various projects almost over the line. I think it's very hard in this country because actors are, you know, there's a little bit of condescension about, I think one top producer loved it and said, it's very ambitious, but it's not for us. I think, what, you don't want to be ambitious? Anyway, but it's a great relationship. He's my brother, really, you know, and in the first years when we lived near each other, he was on my doorstep every day. We played music, we write, and, very important to me. Yeah.
Well, Geoff, thank you so much for being with us today. Really appreciate your time.
My absolute pleasure, Luke.
Joining me now is Griffith University animation student Nate Stengert. Nate, thanks for being here today.
Great to be here.
What is your documentary about, and what drove you to this specific story?
So our documentary is about the rugby team here in Winton named the Diamantina Devils. What really drew us to this story is we came here with this idea of this underrepresented culture of youth in Winton, and asking the different people here, it just naturally led us to the rugby team. And so from there, the next steps really felt natural for us. We talked to the men's team, then we talked to the women's team, and then we got all this great footage of them training, and it just really felt like it was a story that had to be told.
After speaking with both the men's team and the women's team, have you found anything, interesting that's different to the city?
Yeah, it's the men's team here in Winton has been around for about a century. When we did our research, we found out it's been here for about as long as the town itself. Whereas the women's team has only been around for the last year. And I think it's really great that there are more opportunities opening up even out here in the Outback for women's sports. It's a movement that's stretching all the way out into the far reaches of Australia, because it is such an important thing that women have these opportunities.
As an animation student, how are you collaborating with your team here, but how does that also compare to your work back home?
Compared to in the city, it's a lot more stripped back and fast-paced. Back in the city, we have a lot more time on our hands. We've only got 2 weeks out here, so we'll do so many more rounds of ideation, so many more rounds of feedback, storyboarding. Whereas out here, it's like you've got one round of ideation, if that, and then you just got to go for it because you just don't have as much time, and the resources aren't, as accessible. So it's like a really condensed form of the animation process, and it's actually kind of exciting and fun in that sense.
Having only 1 week to complete your documentary, how are you and your group managing that time pressure?
It's just about being efficient, all of us getting out of our comfort zones and doing the work that needs to be done. As an animator, I've had to stretch my skills into things like editing and directing, just because that's what the team needed.
For students possibly considering taking on this trip next year, what advice would you give them in terms of the, like we discussed before, the time pressure, but also preparing you? Does it prepare you for industry standard after uni?
I would say, well, for students coming out here, it's just about keeping an open mind, When you live in the city, you kind of get these ideas of what animation and filmmaking is, but then you come out here and you're like, when you've got less equipment and less time, it's really just like the core of it, which is like the art, and that's what it comes down to. You need to keep an open mind about what that looks like, what your involvement's going to look like, and if you do that, you're going to have a great time out here no matter what.
Well, Nate, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Today, Luke's pick is How to Talk Australian 2025, which follows a group of students and teachers from the Delhi College of Linguistics who hit the road to learn and gain first-hand experience of the local culture. Their plane then gets diverted to Dubbo instead of Sydney, sending the trip pear-shaped. Here is a glimpse of what to expect tomorrow night.
Good day, mate. How's it going?
Good day, mate. How's it going?
Dean Devdan has some exciting news.
We are going to Australia. It will be a study tour.
Australia, here we come.
Hello, Professor. How's Sydney?
Well, we are not quite there yet. We have landed in Dubbo South.
G'day.
What are those?
Chicken rolls.
What's in there?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
If you keep going your way, you'll end up pretty much there.
I've gone to the wrong name.
Yeah.
Today's your lucky day. We will go and see all the big fruit.
Roger that, Wendy.
I'll Roger Wendy. Is that the crocodile that took your arm?
That crocodile? The one with my arm in it.
What the hell are you doing under there?
I have shit going on here, Professor. Can't you see? He's got a shit.
Whoa! How could it possibly be worse?
There's a spider in there.
What?
Look.
It's just a huntsman. They crawl in your mouth when you're asleep at best. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, shit, yeah. I'm as happy as a bastard on Father's Day.
Yeah, no.
We're not here to fuck spiders.
Shit show.
A goon bag and a female coat. A goon bag and a female coat.